What's up, everybody? Welcome to PixelPlay Sidequests, your bonus content here every Friday on the YouTube channel. Adam CS Radical, along with Jin and Chris and Kaylan, we are here talking more about the last few streams that we got. Mostly importantly, though, is what was our favorite stuff. We didn't really talk too in depth about the games that we saw. We were more just going, well, all of them sucked except for Xbox, let's be real. I know I'm saying that out loud because I know you Ubisoft guys are going to get real mad about it, but too bad. It sucked. Moving on. So we're going to give our three favorite games that we had there. It doesn't have to be in any particular order if you guys don't want to, but if we just want to throw things off the list. And I'm going to start just to piss Chris off. So Astrobot.
Good. No, because my list is too big, so I need you guys to take them from me. Take them. My list, we're supposed to have 3. My list had 12.
I mean, if I'm being realistic here, like Astrobot to me is the game that defined everything. I think that we even said it last week, I don't think there's been a better trailer that I've seen in quite a while than what the Astrobot trailer is. It was just pounding you into submission with just the sheer amount of stuff it was showing you in that trailer. And if there's any game I'm more excited to play than anything else, that's the one.
Yeah, that is. I completely do agree with you, but it doesn't count as being on my list. So good.
All
Yeah,
right,
I agree.
well, what do
I
you
like
got?
that.
Oh, sorry, go
I
ahead.
like
Cam.
Astrobot as well, but yeah, I'll let Chris go. Astrobot is on my list, but yeah, no, go Chris.
Okay. All right.
You don't get out of it that easily.
Yeah, I know, right? Okay, I'm going to throw this one out because I am really excited for this. It is one of my most anticipated for this year. There's so many, which is nice because I feel like a week ago there was like none. But Indiana Jones. Like, I am very excited for that one. I know it's not going to be a perfect game. Some people are going to be like, oh, it's kind of first person. And obviously that's not as great as like an action game and stuff. And it's like, well, you don't want it to be too much like all the others. And I mean, it is Bethesda basically making this, and you don't want them doing a third person game. I don't know if they really do. So, but just they really, from what I've seen with the trailers and stuff, it really managed to capture the feel of it just being one of the Indiana Jones's movies that was like never released. It's like amazing that it just does have that feel. The music that they seem to have in the scenes, the way characters are talking and acting out the scenes, which obviously they probably did like motion capture, that kind of stuff for. The way they have some of the characters, I love it. It's giving all the nostalgia of a like decent, good Indiana Jones movie, but as a game that you actually get to play, and it looks, beautiful, fun, adventurous. I think it's just going to be a fun adventure to go through that you don't have to like think too seriously on, and more just enjoy the fun adventure aspect of it.
Yeah, that's another fun one I'm looking forward to. For me, I mean, I'm gonna take it because it's the obvious one. Star Wars Outlaws.
Obvious one.
You get to play Han
yeah.
Solo. You get to play Han Solo, basically.
Yes.
I mean, I'm so down for being a scoundrel and like the different syndicates, and you're trying to balance between them, and like, are you trying to be a good guy in a bad world, but you're shooting first? Like, it's just, chef's kiss.
Like, I know how
And-
it's going to be at this point. I give zero fucks about this game. It's going to somehow end up winning Game of the Year this year. I know it. I know how this is going to go.
Probably for
Maybe.
me, actually, yeah.
I don't know. Like just the like driving around on the speeder, like the way that looks. I
Right?
know I'm going to love that. I'm just gonna
Right?
hop on and like speeder around the Star Wars
And
planets.
the game
because-
looks so good. Like, graphically, it looks amazing.
Yeah. I'm in. I'm all in on that one. Also on the list, but thank you for taking it off mine.
You knew it was coming.
I did.
I just can't wait. Like, that was the one game where I'm like, oh, I wish I could play this right now. Like,
Oh yeah.
I wish I could share your enthusiasm on that one. I just
I'm
every
not
time
dead
I watch that trailer, and every time I look at stuff from it, I'm like, this looks exactly like what I'd expect another Ubisoft open world game to be. I just don't have any trust in it.
but it's Star Wars. I get to live the
Well,
Star Wars.
I should probably then also
Yeah.
note then I have zero interest in Star Wars anymore. Like, it's killed any interest that I had left in it in the last like little while.
You're a shallow
Disappointed.
man, Chris. Adam.
I'm
Shallow.
sorry.
man.
Like, I would much prefer a new Star Trek game
Dead
right
set.
now.
Ugh.
It
Oh, you're
It
one
would
of
be so
them.
slow.
Because
Would
the
just
new
be them
movies are
talking on
the
a
new
bridge.
movies have been so much better than the new Star Wars movies. Fuck that shit.
You mean the new movies from 2009?
Yeah,
It's new enough.
it's new enough.
If I want to talk about the last good Star Wars movie I saw, it's not even. It's related to like the old original trilogy in Rogue One, so that's not really helping its case. But anyway, I digress. It's not what we're here to talk about. Anyways, moving on. The next one that comes to mind, Chris, you and our group is definitely going to be keeping an eye on this one, and that's No Room in Hell 2.
Mm-hmm.
Which is basically all I can figure is it's essentially what we already play in Killing Floor and other such games, but it has a more of a Resident Evil vibe to it in the sense of like, you know, it feels much more like you're going to be a little bit slower. If you really get crowded, you're fucked kind of deal. Like there's definitely that more of a vibe to it. And it's 8-player co-op. Like developers, for the love of fucking God, we live in an online age. Stop doing it 4. Stop maxing it 4. We can do more than that. Helldivers, I know you devs listen too. Come on, man. There's got to be a way to get more than 4 people in there. Can you imagine the amount of chaos you could have with more than 4 people?
That would be fun.
I can't do more than 4. Don't do more than 4. I can't even do 2. I can't even do 4.
See, here's the problem, Kaylan. You're acting like you have to have 8 people if it's a max 8. You can have only 4. I'm just saying, hey, stop capping us so quick.
He's got a point. I do think Adam has a point here.
That's fine.
But yeah, I'm super
Still wrong with
glad
Star Wars.
just from the aspect of how the multiplayer could potentially be. Although we're probably going to end up playing Killing Floor 3 long before we get around to that one, depending on how the money works out.
Probably. Let's be honest. Speaking of being honest, that's a weird segue. My next one.
As opposed to not being truthful,
Yeah.
we're giving our fake
I'm gonna
games that we're
lie
excited
now.
for.
I
my
knew
lie.
it. I knew you were interested in Fallout 76.
No, oh, don't make me play. So for my next one, I can't remember the name, but it's that Power Rangers like
Rita's
Beat 'em
Power
up.
Rangers game.
Rita's Rewind. That's what it is. That is just like they saw how well that Ninja Turtles Cowabunga, I can't remember, Shredder's Revenge or whatever it was. And they were like, oh, people love retro beat 'em ups about retro franchises, but like with really solid gameplay and like 6-player co-op. And they were like, hey, you know who has a bunch of players? The Power Rangers. You know what that people love? Old school Power Rangers with Rita. So that looks like a lot of fun. Do I think it's going to be game of the year or anything? No. But do I think that me and, a group of us going in and playing that on a weekly basis is going to be some of the best times of our lives? Yes. Yes, I think that's what's going to happen. Power Rangers theme and all. We are going to love it. It's going to be great. It honestly does look like a lot of fun. I'm assuming it'll just have solid beat 'em up combat and just all the colors, all the nostalgia, all the music. It's just going to be a great time. So I'm throwing Power Rangers in there. It's in my top 3.
Galen?
For me, my number 2, I'm going to give it to Perfect Dark. A game I had no expectations and very little interest in. And I was watching, I'm like, man, this is awesome. It gives me very much like a Deus Ex meets like Cyberpunk vibe, and I am all for that. Like, I love the gameplay. I liked what I saw. I'm excited to play more Perfect Dark.
I am clenching so hard, hoping that it doesn't end up being another Perfect Dark Zero. That's all I'm going to say. I have bad memories. I'll throw a curveball as my third. I had a couple of different choices here, but I'm going to go out on and go more of the indie direction. Whenever I see Annapurna on anything, you already have my interest because they make some good shit. Mixtape looks like a fucking joy to play. We were saying on the stream, because the way they're basically making like a 90s, indie kids like garage band like movie. It really is like a coming of age story in the 1990s. We were joking because we're all Canadians here. I joked that I didn't realize Alan Cross was into video games because as a radio DJ, like almost every bit of music in this game is all stuff that he would be recommending. For those who are Canadian radio listeners, you'll recognize the history of new music. Yeah, almost all of those bands are up his alley, and the only thing I was jokingly saying, man, the only thing this game is missing is the Smiths, and it would basically complete the unholy trio of bands that he likes, because he is a big Joy Division guy, he's a big Smashing Pumpkins guy, and he's a big fucking Smiths guy. So if all the 3 of those were in there, that would have completed the trifecta. But it's only 2 out of 3. But you know what they say, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
That's a good pick. That is a very good pick. I'm torn if I'm going to use this next one because I feel like I could be stealing this from Kaylan.
I got a list, don't worry.
You got a list? All right. So I'm just going to go with it. Assassin's Creed Shadows. Like, it just looks Oh, it looks like an Assassin's Creed I really, really want to play. There's two types of Assassin's Creeds I really like, and one is just the old school, like Assassin's Creed, like Mirage, and then this one where it's in a completely different setting, but still has the stabby, sneaky assassin, and like Japan's perfect, obviously, for that setting. The game looks solid. It looks fun. It's Assassin's Creed. I'm still obviously a little my walls up because again, I think Mirage is like perfect and I think Valhalla is a pain in the butt that I never want to actually install and play again. So it's kind of like which one am I going to get? It doesn't need to be as small as Mirage. It doesn't have to be as like, short and everything as it, but I hope it's not much more beyond it. I don't mind, the upped graphics, environments, different tool sets, stuff like that. But I mean, I just hope that this is a 40-hour adventure if Mirage was like 25, or if Mirage was like 30-35, then I hope this is like 50 or something like that. Like
Yeah,
it's
I feel like
something.
40 is that sweet spot.
Yeah, like somewhere in there. It doesn't feel like overly short. It is going to be something that I'm going to be with for a while, but it never outstays its welcome, which Valhalla did very much. And also Valhalla just didn't have the environment that this Japan setting seems to have, which looks really nice with the villages and the forests and the just different spots. So
I thought
I'm
it was really
hopeful.
interesting that they talked about like how one of the things that's interesting to me is like they're like, oh yeah, there's gonna be seasons in this game. There's gonna be snow and fall and winter, and I'm like, how frequent is that gonna happen? Is that gonna be like a real time cycle thing, or is that just like throughout the
I
course
feel
of the
like it's
story?
a chapter
That's 4
thing.
seasons. Because I was gonna be like, if you get through one cycle and you go from winter to winter, that's a year. Like,
Yeah,
It's
just,
every 15 seconds.
that's what they should do. They should test it. Like, have somebody literally keep their game on and see how long it takes to go through the entire season in a game.
yeah.
But I assume it's
But I'm
chapter
excited for
based.
Assassin's
I
Creed.
assume it's based on the
Yeah.
story.
Or it's something
excited.
stupid where it's every 5 minutes. It's like the next season. It's like, oh, that's becoming nighttime, and a season lasted a day.
Yeah.
every night cycle is a new season.
All right, Kaylan, you're last up. So hit us with that Splinter. Oh,
Oh, he had to do it. Oh, Kaylin's so sad now.
no, he's not sad.
Um,
He's mad at me.
there's a couple different games like I'd love to give a shout out to, like Metal Gear Solid Delta. Like having only played Metal Gear Solid 4 to completion, which was a bad place to start Metal Gear.
bad.
It's a very bad spot. And then playing a little bit of Metal Gear Solid 5 and it didn't jive with me. Like I'm curious what Delta is going to be, but it seems interesting. Same with Flintlock and Fable, but for me, I mean, rip and tear. Like Doom Dark
Yeah.
Ages. I love Doom. Like Doom 2016 is, I would say, one of the perfect games. I wasn't as big of a fan of the second one. I forget what it's called.
Mhm. Eternal.
Doom Eternal. Like I felt it got too technical and too like it started feeling like a challenge, and like it didn't feel like it's the power fantasy that Doom 2016 was, where it's like I am wrecking house. And I hope that this one isn't just going into medieval ages and I'm on a dragon and fighting hell. Like just looks so amazing.
There's like a Doom mech. You get into a giant Doom
Right?
mech. Like
Yeah.
what just happened? Like yes,
Yeah.
I'm in. Oh, 100%.
I love that. Like the soundtrack, like Doom is such a good series. This is a day
It
one
is.
purchase for me.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm in.
Yeah, I mean, I'll quickly just go over the last couple of things that I had that didn't make the top 3 cut. State of Decay
Same.
3 for similar reasons, like No Room in Hell 2. I'm excited just to play from the multiplayer perspective. And the only other one that I had that wasn't taken because we already went through Rita's rewind was Life is Strange Double Exposure, just because it's adding on to what we had with Max Caulfield from the original game, which is where I do like Life is Strange, that and True Colors. The second game I really didn't like at all, but to see more content for the original, I actually thought it was just a new game for a while because the animation has changed so differently, like graphically, between the original and this that I had no idea it was Max. It wasn't
Same.
it wasn't clicking with me at the time. And then as soon as they said, "Oh, it's an adventure with Max," I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, I'm still excited. Just more now. Okay."
Glow up.
But yeah, those are the only 2 left. Like, there's a bunch of curiosity ones, but in terms of things that are like, I'm going to play you for sure, those are the other 2 that I missed.
Yeah, I've got a few, I guess, like nice to mention, shout out kind of ones the ones that haven't been mentioned. I don't know if you mentioned Expedition 33, Adam, but that one,
No.
just because it might be a turn-based game. It looked like an Unreal Engine basic action game, and then all of a sudden it was a turn-based like RPG, and I was like, well, now I'm fully in. I need to know what this is. Gears of War E-Day or whatever, that the prequel, that like I'm excited for that because Gears is just a lot of fun. Lego Horizon Adventures is one because Lego games are just the perfect kind of game. They're always like a solid, Kaylan, I think you said this, a solid 7 to 8 always, but just with fun IP.
There's no bad Lego games.
No, there's no bad.
I was so happy though because I knew exactly what I was doing when I said in the Discord, oh, they're starting out with like Kaylan's gonna love the first trailer.
Oh, honestly, it did. I showed Jen and I'm like, yeah, I can't wait to play this with my son. So
Yeah. Oh yeah. It looks like a perfect just comfort food kind of game that's just fun. I'm probably alone on this, but Civilization 7. I love the Civ games, and Sid Meier or whatever his name is coming out during the showcase to actually introduce it. That guy's old as fuck now. I did not realize he was still like as involved as he is.
I didn't even know he was still alive.
I thought he just used his name, and he walked out and he's like, "Hey guys, I'm making a game for you." It's like, "Grandpa?" Like,
they thought him from the cryo chamber.
Yes. And then my last one is an indie game called Screenbound. I can't even remember which one this showcase was on. I know it was on Wholesome Direct, which is a different one.
I was going to say, I don't think it was on any of the main ones.
No, but it is something that everybody should check out. It is a 3D, 2D mixed game.
Is that the one where you're holding a Game Boy?
Yes, you're in a 3D environment, which you need to navigate, but you're also staring at a Game Boy, which shows your 2D environment, and all the enemies that are on the screen with you, you can only see on the Game Boy. So as you're moving forward, you have to jump on the enemies using what you see on the Game Boy, but you're also like in this 3D environment up on these platforms, and you need to not fall off of those as well. So you move around in 3D, but it also shows what's happening to you in 2D. It looked just super cool, very nostalgic, very colorful, very much an indie game. So it doesn't look like overly difficult or anything, but it does look just like a delightful, like comfort food kind of game that I would love to play.
Any other shoutouts that we missed on your end?
The other one that's just there. No, I kind of mentioned it. Fable, Flintlock, Assassin's Creed's on there. No, we covered it.
Then I want to ask one fun question. If there's one game that you saw in all these presentations that you're hesitant to, but you think has a lot of potential if it ends up being really, really good, is there one that kind of falls into that? Because the one that comes to mind for me is Stalker 2, because it's a game that I looked at and went, this looks like something that could be great, but I don't know if I want to play that. It's more of like the thing of like, this could be amazing, and I'll wait to see what reviews say. But like, I'm also like, this could just be another thing that's just like all the other stuff that I've already seen before. But God, did that trailer still look good?
For me, I think that would be, what's it called? State of Decay 3, because that could be a fun co-op, cool online game. And
I wish y'all were around on 360 when I was playing the original State of Decay. It was so much fucking fun to play with people.
Yeah, like this one looks like it could capture that, because I heard that the second one wasn't as well received and liked and stuff, but this third one,
for that reason,
it could be a great co-op game, an amazing, fun zombie co-op type of game, or it could be crap again. So that one's like not in any of my lists, but I do have that on my radar for like, I wonder if that might actually be, the diamond in the rough,
For me, the two that kind of would be cool, but like I'm gonna kind of wait on Metal Gear Solid Delta. Not that it's gonna be bad, but that may or may not be a game for me, and I'm not 100% certain on that.
I'm kind of in a similar boat with that too, just because I only ever played the original two, and neither of them I got very far in because both of them didn't jive.
Yeah. I think the biggest gamble on my list though is Flintlock. I think that's one that's either gonna be really cool, or we were talking about on the stream. It could either be like a good game, or it's going to be another Forspoken. Like, it kind of gives off Forspoken vibes as well. So,
well, it's Xbox, so no, it would be another Redfall.
Recore. No, Redfall's bad. It'd probably be a Recore.
And there's a lot of people that probably went, wait, what was Recore? Exactly.
Exactly.
We remember bad games. We don't remember mediocre games.
Yes, that is true. That is true.
Well, with that being said, I think we got a nice master list of the coolest stuff that was at these showcases. So with that, we are going to take off for the week. We will see you again next week. Remember, Mondays for Retro Rando, when I hopefully play a half-decent game out of spinning a wheel. Doesn't always work out that way. I get a casino game sometimes, which is, 15 minutes of blackjack is so much fun. But the main show on Wednesdays, and obviously these side quests come out every Friday. All of them come out at noon Eastern, so you will be able to get your fix. By the time you go, maybe you take a lunch break, maybe you come back from work, it's already waiting for you when you come home. So hope you guys enjoy that. Don't forget the link tree at the bottom there if you want to join our Discord. Check out where you can find the podcast outside of YouTube. All that sweet stuff. But we will see you on the next episode. Bye-bye for now.